Stoic philosophy offers us a valuable guide to living a balanced life while maintaining our integrity and inner peace. When it comes to relationships, this wisdom helps us identify when a connection is hindering our personal evolution. Today, we will explore 11 signs that may indicate it's time to end a relationship, even if it's with someone close, like a friend or family member. 1. When the relationship hinders your personal growth. A healthy relationship should be a catalyst for your growth, not an obstacle. If you notice that instead of moving forward, you're being held back, that's a warning sign. Stoicism teaches us that personal development is essential for a fulfilling life. Seneca once said, "A friendship that can end was never true," and this quote invites us to reflect on the quality of the connections we maintain. A friend or family member who supports your growth should celebrate your achievements and encourage you to become a better version of yourself. If instead, the person you are connected with causes you to doubt your abilities or steer you away from your goals, it's necessary to reevaluate that relationship. Prioritizing your progress is not selfish. It's a fundamental step to living according to your values and potential. Relationships that don't align with your evolutionary journey often need to be left behind. 2. When destructive emotions dominate the interactions. A clear sign that a relationship is becoming toxic is when it is dominated by destructive emotions like anger, resentment, or envy. When these feelings are constant, they corrode a person's emotional and mental health. Stoic philosophy, particularly through the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, reminds us that you have power over your mind, not over external events. This means that while we cannot control others' actions, we have full control over how we react to situations. If interactions with someone are constantly filled with negativity, it's time to reflect on the impact of that relationship in your life. Negative emotions can trap us in a cycle of reactivity, making it hard to see things clearly. Seeking emotional balance is essential for a more peaceful life aligned with our principles. Relationships that fuel emotional chaos should be carefully evaluated. 3. When the relationship is based on manipulation or control, a healthy relationship should be built on freedom and mutual respect, not manipulation or control. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, teaches that true freedom comes when we become masters of ourselves. If you feel that your decisions, thoughts, and actions are being constantly influenced or dictated by someone else, this is a clear sign that your freedom is being threatened. Manipulation can manifest in many ways, from constant criticism to attempts to isolate you from others or control your behavior. Stoicism values self-control and independence, principles that should be present in any relationship. Relationships based on control not only damage your autonomy, but also erode your self-esteem. It's essential to recognize these toxic dynamics and, if necessary, take action to restore your sense of freedom, whether through setting boundaries or, in more serious cases, by ending the relationship. 4. When there is more suffering than happiness. Every relationship goes through difficult moments, but if conflicts and suffering are a constant, outweighing the moments of joy, this is a sign that something is deeply wrong. Stoic philosophy teaches us to seek balance and harmony in our lives, and this includes the relationships we maintain. If interactions with someone are filled with arguments, resentments, and frustrations, it's time to reflect on the value of that connection. Stoicism reminds us that we don't have control over others' actions, but we do have the power to choose our own responses and decisions. If you find that most of the time you feel anxious, stressed, or unhappy in a relationship, it might be time to prioritize your well-being. While ending a relationship can be painful, inner peace and emotional balance should be the priorities. Relationships that bring more pain than happiness ultimately hinder our growth and drain our energy. 5. When mutual respect disappears, respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. When it is lost, whether through disregard, destructive criticism, or contempt for the other person's opinions and feelings, the bond begins to erode. Stoicism teaches that we should treat others with the same dignity that we wish to be treated with, and this includes respecting boundaries, values, and opinions. If you notice that you are constantly being disrespected or that your needs and emotions are being ignored, it's time to question the future of that relationship. Mutual respect doesn't mean always agreeing, but rather maintaining consideration for the other person, even amid differences. When respect disappears, the relationship becomes an emotional battleground, draining our energy and eroding self-esteem. Ending a relationship under these conditions is not a matter of pride, but of self-preservation. Maintaining relationships without respect violates Stoic principles of dignity and self-control. 6. When there is denial of reality, Stoicism advocates for accepting reality as it is, without illusions or fantasies. In a relationship, this acceptance translates into seeing the situation clearly and objectively, without denying the problems that arise. If you find that you are constantly ignoring warning signs or that the other person is always denying the relationship's difficulties, it may indicate that both are trapped in an unreal dynamic. Stoicism teaches that we must face the truth, no matter how hard it may be, and make decisions based on the reality of the facts. Continuing in a relationship based on illusions, unfulfilled promises, or denial of problems only prolongs the suffering and hinders the growth of both parties. Accepting reality frees us to act wisely and in alignment with our values. Relationships built on denial of reality distance us from the authenticity and inner peace we seek. 7. When you compromise your values, personal values are like a lighthouse that guides us in our choices and behaviors. Stoic philosophy teaches that living in harmony with our principles is essential for an authentic and fulfilling life. If you find that you are constantly compromising your values to please someone or avoid conflicts in a relationship, this is a clear sign that the connection is unhealthy. Sacrificing our principles for someone else may seem like a way to keep the peace in the short term, but in the long term, it erodes our integrity and can generate deep internal discomfort. Healthy relationships respect and even strengthen our values, rather than forcing us into commitments that distance us from who we truly are. When a relationship pressures you to act against your beliefs, it's crucial to evaluate whether it's worth continuing. Staying true to your values is an act of courage and self-respect. 8. When the relationship becomes one-sided, reciprocity is a vital component of any healthy relationship. When a relationship becomes one-sided, where only one person is constantly giving while the other only receives, this creates an imbalance that can lead to resentment and frustration. In Stoicism, balance and harmony are fundamental principles, and these values should also be present in our interactions with others. If you feel that you are always making concessions, giving up your needs, and offering support without receiving anything in return, this dynamic may be wearing you down emotionally. A healthy relationship involves mutual exchange and support, where both parties contribute fairly to the other's well-being. If this balance is absent, it's time to reconsider whether this connection is truly contributing to your personal and emotional growth. The lack of reciprocity can turn a relationship into a source of exhaustion and dissatisfaction. 9. When there is abuse in any form, no form of abuse is acceptable in a relationship, whether it is physical, verbal, emotional, or psychological. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of maintaining our dignity and self-esteem intact, and enduring abuse is a violation of this principle. Abuse doesn't only manifest physically, it can also be constant emotional aggression, manipulation, humiliation, or control. These destructive dynamics erode not only the relationship, but also the mental and emotional health of the person experiencing them. Recognizing that you are in an abusive relationship is the first step toward liberation. Stoicism teaches that we have a duty to distance ourselves from any situation that diminishes us or makes us question our value as human beings. While it may be difficult to break free from a cycle of abuse, it is essential to restore your integrity and well-being. You deserve to be in a relationship that respects who you are and values your dignity. 10. When communication repeatedly fails, communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. When communication between two people becomes difficult or ineffective, misunderstandings and conflicts become inevitable. Stoicism teaches us the importance of clear, honest, and undistorted dialogue. If you find that there are constant barriers to communicating with someone, whether due to a lack of openness, unwillingness to listen, or constant misunderstandings, this is a sign that the relationship may be compromised. Relationships that cannot sustain healthy communication tend to deteriorate over time, leading to frustration and resentment. For a relationship to work, both parties must be willing to communicate transparently and resolve conflicts constructively. If this is no longer possible, it's time to reflect on whether it's worth maintaining this connection. Communication is the bond that maintains mutual understanding and respect. Without it, the relationship becomes unstable. 11. When the relationship robs your inner peace. Inner peace is one of the most important goals of Stoic philosophy. Living in harmony with yourself, without constantly being disturbed by external factors, is one of the pillars of a full and balanced life. If a relationship is continually causing disruptions, anxiety, or stress, robbing you of your peace and serenity, this is an indication that something is wrong. Stoicism teaches that we must seek balance, even in the face of adversity. But a relationship that constantly generates conflict and emotional imbalance may be undermining your ability to maintain this tranquility. Maintaining relationships that distance us from inner peace is not sustainable in the long term. If you find yourself in a situation where the relationship is a constant source of stress and anguish, it's time to reconsider what is at stake. The pursuit of peace and serenity is not selfishness, but a vital need for our mental and emotional well-being. Prioritize your tranquility. Recognizing these signs and acting on them requires courage, but it's also an act of self-compassion and self-respect. Ending a relationship is not failure, but a necessary step toward your growth and inner peace. As Epictetus said, the first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Evaluating and, if necessary, ending harmful relationships is an act of courage and wisdom, one that will lead you to a fuller and more balanced life. If you've experienced this, share your story in the comments. Your experiences can help others find the strength to make difficult decisions. And if you like the content, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Let's walk this journey together toward a richer and more purposeful life. See you in the next video.